Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another New York session market open stream. 5 minutes into the New York session is June 4th. Did the ECB just say they're cutting interest rates this week? Is that going to put pressure on Jerome Powell to potentially cut interest rates in the United States? What happened with Berkshire Hathaway losing 99% of its value in a couple seconds on the New York Stock Exchange? Talk about all those developments and more. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the stream. We're going to be live trading, covering news, and of course, going through a little bit of trading education and insights if you guys have any questions. Two quick housekeeping reminders. Number one, click the link in the description to register for the live trading masterclass. It's an online program, 4 days intensive to learn the strategy that you are about to see us trade live. I use this system every single morning. It's all on YouTube for you guys to see. Make sure to check out the masterclass. The link is in the description. If you are a brand, if you have an FX company or somebody in your group has an FX company, let them know about the FX Summit 2024 conference. Let them grab a booth or an exhibit so they can connect with your community in person. Let's get right into the stream. Did the ECB just say 25 basis point cuts on Thursday? I believe they did. First central bank to pull the trigger and start to ease monetary policy. Why are they doing that? Europe's economy is not looking too hot. They need a saving grace, which is exactly what I believe they're doing by lowering interest rates, trying to stimulate the economy regardless of what it takes. All right. On today's episode of Are We Gonna Get This Retest? How do I feel about the so-called glitch that dropped the market? Roman, you might have cut your camera off quick, brother, but I saw that crisp-ass haircut, and I'm gonna just have to tell you one thing, honestly, right now to your face. You have to go find your barber and give him a raise. Whatever tip that you gave him, you're gonna have to double it. Bro, shit was crispy as well. I saw my future in that chop. Look at that. Well, buddy took the fucking protractor out for this haircut. But he had he had the abacus next to him. All right, we're done. It said 10 a.m. JOLTS jobs opening, red folder. Josh, thank you for the heads up. Got you. How do I feel about the glitch? These glitches happen. To be honest, I have no idea how. Actually, I do have an idea how. All of these like legacy institutions, let's say the New York Stock Exchange, government institutions, especially government agencies, the DMV, all of it is running on archaic systems. Right? That's just about as basic as I can put it. Some of these guys are just still using pen and paper. And so, are they technologically advanced enough to prevent things like this from happening? No. Do they have circuit breakers that can basically halt trading, make sure nobody is rigging the system, get things back on track? Yes. So when we were up there at the New York Stock Exchange, Peter Tuchman said that's the biggest benefit of having this kind of hybrid human and computer marketplace, where if there is anything like this that happens, the market makers can step in, hold the circuit breaker, and not cause any further damage. Now, where does that power start to go a little bit crazy? Let's say the GameStop situation where they pause trading just as everybody's starting to make money. That's the kind of stuff where, yes, they have the power to, like, if you give someone the power to protect you, they also have the power to tell you what to do. Right? So, it's the pros and cons. What are the Jolt openings exactly? Jolts is it's basically the open jobs labor data report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. How many open jobs are there in the economy? So this is impacted by the new jobs that are created. So if there's a bunch of like new part-time jobs that get created because there's a whole industry that's booming, you'll see those jobs numbers go up. If a ton of people lose jobs, you'll see that number go up. And so the number going up and down isn't necessarily what we're looking for. That is important. Like how many unemployed Americans are there versus how many open jobs are there? And we can look at that spread to see if we're operating at capacity or if we're kind of operating less than capacity. But really, it's about the makeup of that JOLTS numbers. Did the number go up and down because people are voluntarily leaving? Okay, so that's where we can look at the quits rate. In the JOLTS report, the quits rate is voluntary leave in the workforce, people who are going to trade full time or go start their own business. So that's one reason. Seasonality, a lot of the seasonal jobs going away, that could impact the JOLTS numbers as well. Immigration, big impact to the labor numbers that no one really wants to talk about. So all these things impact the JOLTS number. And for us to get a clear picture, we'll have to go through the report once it drops and get an accurate feel. It says, good morning, ready for battle. Well, Chris, I'm going to let you reword that. We're not battling nothing. We're going with the flow, my baby. Going with the flow. All right. A lot of people trying to swim a life uphill or whatever the hell the saying is. I don't know if you swim uphill. Something like that. Shit's creek in a paddle. Go with the flow, people. That's the advice I'm going to give to everybody here. Go with the flow. Stop trying to fight. Stop trying to always find another way and reinvent the wheel and do this and the third. If you have a clear strategy, remind yourself exactly what your responsibility is. And then I'm going to give you guys a general set of reminders as traders. The number one, you can't predict what happens next. So don't try, right? Let it go. If you have a great system, obviously remind yourself of the execution criteria, your trade management criteria, like where you're going to get out and how much you're going to size in, how much are you going to risk today. Be very clear about that so there's none of these surprises, anxiety, all this stuff from the fear of the unknown. All right. And if I guess I'll do a last reminder for today, you can't know what happens next, so don't try. It's going to cause you a lot of stress trying to do that. Make sure that you're very clear on your plan. You have a clear reminder. And then let me see if there's a third one I can add here. Really, the last one is always just risk management. There is no home run. Oh, this could be the one. Yeah, the one to blow your account. Dummy, don't do it. Make sure that risk management is the highest priority. And that doesn't mean risk small. When I say, like, especially when you guys hear on social media, people say use proper risk management. That doesn't mean everybody has to use the same 1%. You have to look at your trading results and see what you're risking versus what you're making. If your losses are $700, you can't be taking $300 profits here, right? Unless you have a 95% win rate. But even still, if your win rate takes a hit, that strategy don't work. So look at the numbers that you're trading with. Look at the risk and reward that you're currently getting, and make sure that you're using that data to make a judgment about how much you should risk. Okay, where to get out, if you're closing partial, if you're closing profits too soon or not, or if you're entering too late. Risk management is key. All right, trading is not sexy, people. I make it look sexy, but let's just be honest. It's a very mundane game, and eventually the goal is to program your strategy into an EA, an expert advisor that'll trade for you, to eliminate the human nature. Now, there is a thing where the more experienced you get, discretion, meaning the ability for you to make a decision in the moment based on the current variables, actually does weigh into how much money you're making. So me choosing not to trade today is a discretionary decision. It's not a systematic choice that I have built into my plan. So the only issue that I still have with the EA is kind of figuring out some of those discretionary decisions. Once that's done, I have this thing basically trade for me, and I can go and do what I was put on this earth to do, which was not stare at moving lights on a screen. Surprising enough, right? You're reading the history books. They put him, absolute star. Well, what did he do all day, every day? Just stared at moving lights on a screen. He said gold is melting. Gold is dropping, that's for damn sure. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I don't know how this could be any more clear. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break, retest, key fib right here. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Puts you right at 23.20. So that's what I'd be looking for. We're waiting for one more pullback here on NASDAQ into this trade. So let me actually mark this off. We'll go here. This is what I'd personally like to see. Higher low already formed on US 30. This thing might not come back for that retest. And that's fine. CA members, what do we do? Market just starts just taking off. Well, what do we do today? You guys tell me. Save this up for members only. Good morning, Pops. Said rule number 5, try not to lose trades. Biggie Small. Oh, I thought you were trying to quote one of my rules. I'm like, bro, what rule book are you reading? Try not to lose trades. But I don't think you have. Who the hell walks into a trade thinking, yep, this one's a loser? No, that's crazy. The truth is, you never know which one's going to be a loser, which one's going to be a winner. You can have a pretty good inclination. You can have a high probability beyond a reasonable doubt. But does that mean that you know what's going to happen next? No. Saying yes, let it go. Let it go. There it is. Never chase price. Better to set out than to chase price. AB Mike. Mike Pineda says chase the price. Mike said buy high, sell low. Mike, I'm making a new shirt called We Buy Tops. Max, I know you want to hear, brother. I know you hear this fucking genius right here. This is a Disney level genius. They're gonna put me on Mount Rushmore with Kanye. Uh, who's the dude that Young Thug sample that Elton John? I don't know, bro. They're gonna put me on that with Rain Man. Who's the dude from Moneyball? That guy, right? Who's counting? He said, no, well, you just need 3 extra players, right? That guy. They're gonna put me on Mount Rushmore. This level of genius. Hashtag We Buy Tops. Gotta love it. See a guy wearing that shirt, just walking around, and be like, "Damn, bro, it's a tough fucking what a tough life." Okay, so what are the chances that Jerome Powell ends up cutting interest rates? Let's go ahead and look at Fed Watch. We'll go to the CME Group Fed Watch tool to check the probability of having a rate hike or a rate cut. Most likely a rate cut, but the next FOMC meeting is in just over a week, 8 days until the next rate decision. More than likely, actually, there's a 99% chance of no cuts in June. A 99% chance, almost 100%. I've actually never seen a number this high. Damn near 100% chance of rates staying the same. We got about an 85% chance of no rate cuts in July. And then things start to look a little bit better here going into the September months. So September, about a 50-50 chance we get a rate cut. I'm not convinced of that 50-50 at all. So it looks like November, December, this is where we're really going to be expecting some rate cuts here. Like by December, the chances that we stay at 5.25 to 5.5 is less than 10%. So the whole market is betting. Well, at least not the whole market, but the Fed funds futures market is betting that rate cuts in December, maybe rate cuts November. All right. It is what it is. So I guess this is going to take a long time. Let's talk about the trade from yesterday because it was an absolute gem. In case you guys were on the live streams yesterday, always good to do a little bit of review. So let's talk about what the trade looked like at first. This was the trade we took on the stream. Market ended up hitting our first take profit level halfway inside the range. We ended up closing the trade. And then, of course, we all know what happened next. Market ended up bleeding right through. Thankfully, we had a very good exit. And like I said, knowing where to enter and having sniper entries is great. If you don't know where to exit, you can't make money. So make sure that you guys develop a system that does both. All right. Ended up breaking through. We hit one of our higher time frame levels. We had broken the previous area of resistance right here. Buyers had clearly developed a new range. Market came back for a much needed retest. And then I ended up entering a small position on the way back inside the range. I was looking for a pullback. This is kind of what I was looking for here. I was looking for a pullback to enter the second half of my position. We didn't get that pullback until this morning. Market just continued to pump, continued to pump. Here's the before and after. So both trades successful, even though the second entry didn't really come in. This is what we looked like this morning. I was expecting one more retest for this double bottom and a bullish push up. We just had a straight push at the market open. We could still get the retest. Not too late. Not too late. My prediction is the cut will happen in September before the elections. Ooh. You know what, Pops? You actually might have a point. Might have a point. Or October, because that'll be the October surprise, which is big surprise typically that happens right before the November elections. That might help Biden, but dude, they could drop rates to 0%, and I still don't think that Biden would have what it takes to beat Trump, because they know that Trump is probably going to lower interest rates regardless. He's already indicated he's going to most likely fire Jerome Powell. So I think that we know where Trump stands on the interest rate debate, lower interest rates. Not that I think that this is a good time to do that, all right, because we still have a consumer inflation problem, but also stifling economic growth, probably not the best idea either. Says, great day, Roy. What's up, Rich? Good morning. All right, so that was good. Trade from yesterday, pretty straightforward. Oh, last week was a beauty. Yeah, this was a beautiful trade. Talk about art. All right, waiting on this pullback. All right, 18,500 here on the Oanda chart. That'll put us at 18,550. On the futures chart. 18,550. Conspiracy theory hat. Do we really still believe elections are fair? They're not. It's not like, oh, we're gonna pick the winner regardless of what happens. It's like we're gonna use a bunch of like things that nobody understands, make them really, really complicated, and then we can sway the election in either which way. So, like, for example, when I say the NBA is rigged, I'm not saying that they're bribing players to like throw the game. All right, that's way harder to do. So what I really think is happening is the refs have very clear directions from the commission. They say make sure that you crack down on certain behavior. That behavior seems to be the behavior of the two players that make up the team. And then a couple bad calls later, it kind of influences the direction. Right? It's the same thing. So they can't change the direction of the whole ship What they can do is they can get a bunch of referee bad calls and throw the game. Okay. Trump's whole idea this year is you can't leave it up to the judges, kind of like a UFC fight. He's going to have to win by such a big margin of error that it sort of counteracts any of the shady behavior that will be pulled. Not that might be pulled, that will be pulled. Anyone that thinks that, they're not going to be trying a bunch of BS to not get Trump in, you're out of your mind. So clearly he's expecting it. He's ready for it. But he's going to, ideally, he wants to win by such a large margin that it doesn't matter. I feel like Trump, they make it seem like a savior of America, but at the end of the day, they're all Freemason working for the same cause. I don't want to say like he's a savior for America, but if we're going to look at this realistically, we have 4 years of Trump and we have 4 years of Biden, and I think we know how that looks, right? Drastically different. To say that they're both the same is crazy. Printing trillions of dollars and sending money to foreign random fucking countries in the middle of an inflation crisis after we already got out of COVID is crazy. That's Bidenomics. You understand? And that's how gambling industry gained their edge. First division sports is corruption at its finest. You get what I'm saying? So if you think like if people will cheat for money, bet on mindless fucking games, fucking rubber ball going into a hoop, right? Billions of dollars cheating, people die, guy goes missing. If they will do that for a fucking basketball game, imagine what they'll do for the strongest country in the world. Imagine what they'll do for natural gas resources. Imagine what they'll do for geopolitical strategic positioning. But if somebody will kick the ball into the hole, like when you're not looking in a game of golf, just for a mindless fucking game, if someone will cheat for that shit, imagine what they'll do for all the power in the world. So yeah, that's how shit works. All right. To be honest, I think the market's gonna go bearish from here, yo. I'm gonna wait for the pullback, but something here tells me something here tells me market don't plan on stopping. I think we could still take a scalp here. But for some reason, I don't know, I'm getting this feeling that the market's gonna blow through this entire area here. So when the market gets to 18,500, or if you're looking at the futures chart, 18,550, there's going to be a scalp, same as yesterday, quick in and out. But to be honest, I might just skip on this one, depending on how it looks. If I see a really attractive rejection, I'll get in. If not, probably going to let this one go. Am I going to get a worse risk and reward for waiting for the rejection? Yes. JOLTS jobs numbers drop in about 50 seconds. 50 seconds, 50 seconds, 50 seconds. The market is already lining up for this move. Gold melting. It's at 23.20 now. So very, very close to the buy level as well. It's a news trade, so this might be quick. This might happen quicker than we expect. I just go down tap and then just reject, which is fine. No reason to rush. October might be late in order to get early voters. That's true. I agree. In August, prices will go through the roof. Prices of what? 23.02 for gold. I'm very iffy on gold. I agree. Like the idea that I was proposing was a scalp, and there's that scalp. 23.20 immediately to 23.30. That's 100 points right there. Or sorry, that's 10 points. That's 100 pips. Incredible. Let's see what NASDAQ did. Oh, come on. All right, we just hit the 886 on the top side. Let's see how we react. So the JOLTS jobs openings, number of open jobs, labor turnover, people who willingly quit, people who just got hired, the number of available jobs today. You guys can see that numbers kind of stayed around the same in January. Maybe it was a seasonality thing, but we had about 9 million open jobs. 500,000 of those jobs are no longer available, but we're still operating under capacity. So we have more open jobs than we have unemployed people, at least registered unemployed people. The immigration crisis has obviously muddied the waters here. Whoa. Okay. The forecast was 8.4 million open jobs, and the actual was 8 million. Where did 300,000 jobs go? We'll find that out here in the labor report. Separations, jobs, levels by industry. Let me keep my eye on NAS here for a second. This thing might just rip. What is this? Number of open jobs, 8.1 mil. So job openings decreased in healthcare and social assistance, but increased in private educational services. Huh. Interesting. Okay, new hires looks good. Government is not hiring as much. Okay, that's good. Separations. This is the quits rate right here. Whoever's got their mic unmuted, let's go ahead and mute that up. 3.4% total separations for April. Huh. So people are leaving service jobs, professional and business services. People are sticking around. Durable goods manufacturing, people are heading out. And state and local government education, a lot of quits on that side too. Teachers quitting their jobs. So in April, the layoffs and discharges changed a little at 1.5 million. The rate held at 1%. Number of layoffs and discharges decreased in arts, entertainment, and recreation. Layoffs and discharges decreased in arts, entertainment, and recreation. Interesting. All right. I mean, a little bit of this data kind of seemed troubling, but a lot of it actually is very, let's say, good. We have durable goods manufacturing going up. So at least the number of open jobs are available, showing kind of a trend towards manufacturing, which is good. And then we see the service sector taking a hit. So people going out there and spending money on services, that's going down. Making stuff, those jobs are going up. Recreation, down. Business services, up. Entertainment, not doing too hot, but kind of flat. So what does that mean? People are doing more serious things, doing less leisurely activities and spending their money on leisurely activities, meaning they could be concerned about a downturn and potentially prepping for it. So if you guys want to look at the way I look at my portfolio, my investment portfolio, my crypto portfolio, and my trading portfolio, specifically is I'm looking for massive turnarounds, right? We're day trading the strategy here, and that's kind of like the bread and butter on a daily basis. But when I'm looking for big shifts where I can put big money to work, it really revolves around central bank decisions and then changes in interest rate policy. So right now, Fed, very aggressive. What happens when they're not aggressive anymore? All right, we've been bullish since November of last year, of 2023. As soon as Jerome Powell announced that we were at the end of the rate hike cycle, a change in Fed policy, that's where we had the market turnaround. On the next announcement that the Fed will be cutting rates, it'll probably be because the economic conditions are horrible. So while the market will very likely crash first and then rebound back up. Once it rebounds this next time, that's where you want to be. That's where I will personally be investing in interest rate sensitive assets. Whether it's bonds, whether it's mortgage. Well, I'm not really trading mortgages either. or bonds, if we'll just be completely honest. But interest rate sensitive, I would put as anything that's high risk, high reward stocks. Typically, technology stocks are very dependent on the interest rate cycle and the liquidity cycle because that's how money finds its way into the stock price. So waiting for that announcement. I think it'll come this year, probably around November. That'll be good stuff. Saudi Arabia is not renewing 50 years petrodollar agreement. How would this affect America? It'll affect America in so that we got to get Trump back in office ASAP, Mike. Because do you think that shit would happen under Trump? If we're just going to be completely honest. Bro, everyone's taking their chance. I told you, China is going to make a move on Taiwan in the next 6 months before the election because they know it's now or never. We're not going to go to war in the middle of an election season. That's for damn sure. And if Trump comes in, ain't no way in hell they're making a move on Taiwan. So they got to do it now. Same with Saudi Arabia, same with India, same with Russia, same with Pakistan. Everyone's making their moves right now. Iran, everyone's making their move. That's why America needs strength, at least a symbol of strength for fuck's sake. Because we have tons of advantages. We just need someone who's competent enough to negotiate using those advantages, bro. When you have the biggest gun in the neighborhood, you can't keep getting pushed around and bullied like this. How the fuck did we leave $85 billion in Afghanistan? $85 billion worth of U.S. military equipment, brand new. 85 billion? But it's 4 PepsiCos that we just left to a bunch of fucking militants. Guns. I read a study, it said there was something like 35 guns for every fighter that we left behind. All right. So the rest of our enemies are seeing that blunder in Afghanistan, saying, well, clearly America is incompetent, doesn't have a clear set of ideals on what they want to do. And when it comes time to actually pull the trigger, unbelievably stupid, reckless, and can't be trusted. At least that's what I would be thinking if I was the rest of the world. How did it affect the dollar, brother? I love that Saudi Arabia is trying to play big dog. And I think they have a lot of leverage because we really did have to beg them for oil when Biden depleted the strategic reserves. But the world runs on military, brother. Everyone thinks that the dollar is protected by the faith and credit of the U.S. government. The petrodollar system is backed by oil. Yes. Why don't people start trading in monopoly money like the yuan? Because it's protected by something else, Mike. Can you tell me what the dollar is really protected by? I know I've been harping on this for a little bit, but I do think this is an important topic here. When people talk about U.S. dominance, it's not just like, oh, you can spend the dollar anywhere. It's protected by guns. It's protected by the military. Exactly, fellas. And so that's why. It's like, of course, they don't want to use the dollar. Everyone would much rather use their own currency because it'll always be cheaper to use your own. But guess what? We got to the fucking rope first. All right. We won the war. You're welcome. Europe came in there. Say to everybody, fuck the world up. We did some horrible things. But we won. All right. And then we protect it using guns. And so if you are, this is definitely going to get me canceled or kidnapped. So I'm just going to let you guys know this. I love my life. Just going to throw that out there. But if you're a Gaddafi, if you're a Saddam Hussein, if you're a Shah of Iran, and you start talking about moving oil in your local currency and trying to basically get around the dollar system, then you find yourself on the wrong end of a hanging rope. Did y'all just catch what I said? Yeah, they snatched me up for that one. At least a few people heard it. Okay. That's really what the petrodollar is protected by. Government overthrows, very common way of preserving that dominance. If we have to do a full coup, we will. But under Biden, we're kind of letting everybody encroach on us to the point where the only solution left will be direct military conflict. That's why you have to move instantly. Can't let China keep encroaching in the South China Sea and building up their Navy fleet and running operations in the South China Sea. Can't do that. Because if you allow that shit to happen and balloon to fly over America and all this shit, now if they do something actually egregious, we will have to respond with military force. And so I'd much rather I'd much rather have some diplomacy, guys, just to avoid any escalations that could lead to World War III. Remember, it's graduation time, grads are filling up some of the open jobs. That's true. With all their degrees in underwater basket weaving or whatever they were paying for. All right, quick reminder, link in the description to the NAS 100 Masterclass. If you need more details, free webinar tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Link is in the description on YouTube. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. We're going to be heading off here in just a bit. Long day ahead. Seems like the markets are moving very slow today. JOLTS jobs report, I think eventually, like by the end of the week, will end up in a positive reaction for the market. But in the short term, we could see some more bearish action, which is fine. No rejection, no entry. Gotta see rejection, retest. Well, you want to see price react, reject, and retest. All right. So once it comes down here, you want to see a reaction. You want to see price at least respect that zone. And then you want to see a rejection, which is a more aggressive push, showing that buyers or the opposite direction is stepping in. And then last is you want to see a retest. Because even if a market is going to sell, it'll still go up and then crash. Right? Still make a pullback and then crash. Over here, potential pullback. If it wants to crash after, that's fine. We'll be out of the trade. Total of number of total separations up by 130,000 to 5.3 million. Within separations, the number of quits was revised. Why is there revisions? Oh, I'm just trying to look through this data here to see if there's anything that's dramatic. Wholesale trade, I guess. Yeah, just off glance, I'm not seeing anything crazy. This is basically just measuring the kind of comparing two charts or two numbers. One of them from April 2023, the other one from March 2024, the other one from April 2024. So you can get an idea of how things were last year. So it's the number of open jobs, let's say finance and insurance. And I believe these are in thousands. Okay. So we 300,000 jobs. Wait, where'd it go? Let's just use the first one. Mining and lodging. Okay. April 2023, we had 35 open jobs. Last month or 2 months ago, 30 open jobs. April, 27 open jobs. You can see the hires and the total separations here. All right. We can go through and look at winners and losers in a little bit. Just want to make sure that I keep my eye on the ball here. Oh, yeah, if I don't see a clear rejection, I'm not entering this. Everything else, everything about this model kind of screams bearish right now. Remember, 18,500. You guys are CFD trading around the world. Futures, it's 18,850. Or sorry, 18,550. Yep. That's why the first one didn't touch, so it just had to go a little bit higher. This is exactly what I told you guys right before the call started. Right? See the drop? See the pullback? We're getting a TP2. I just think we're gonna break that TP2 a little bit, come down into that buy zone before we continue to the upside. Josh, good eye. Yes. Maybe all this is leading to the new world order. It is. It is. Look at the government issued the real ID that's going to get implemented in 2025. Look at vaccine passports. Um, just AI coming in, starting to do a lot of replacing of jobs, kind of misinformation starting to get pushed out. There's a lot happening in terms of the new world order. The problem is that the new world order, everyone thinks is like a smooth transition, like where they just hand over the crown. It's a fight to the last death. And the old guard is usually pretty fucking close to the last breath. Anyways, you got like Soros beefing with like the new tech giants, like Elon and Zuck over who's going to be the next big, influential party in this game. Um, all I know is stay off the phones, curate skills that money can't buy, curate skills that a computer can't take away. And if you work at a job, make sure that you are crew and not cargo. Because when shit hits the fan, you're either crew or you're cargo. And you want to be on the right side. Well, damn. Well, don't be like that. No way. That sell model was perfect, but I don't sell. Personally, I don't sell. Everyone's like, Roy said never sell. I didn't say that. I said I never sell. Listening skills. Do you think AI will take away retail trading? Hell no. When a robot can do better, can do what we can do better, give it instruction and it just goes. So the answer is yes and no. So the program that I'm developing now, it's basically the 88-6 strategy without the human error. Because you can almost imagine how fucking incredible that's about to be. But then you start to realize that a lot of the big days, a lot of the days where you don't lose money, there's some discretionary decision making there. Here's how I would describe it. This is the way Dr. Olson explained it to me because he's obviously a fucking genius. And he sort of, when he was inventing the micro lot size and electronic networks to connect traders, that where you invent the micro lot size. I'm sure you guys have all been there. Everyone's done it at least once, right? Dr. Olson is just telling me the way that they studied was like whether so a hard science has a clear answer. 1 + 1 = 2. Let's say something like a behavioral science or a weather science, they're a little bit less predictable. So if you check your weather app, it's kind of there, right? You can do a pretty good job. But is it 100%? No. You might cancel a party and all of a sudden it done rain and you're mad at your phone. Okay? Same thing is going to happen with algorithms because markets are unpredictable for everyone. The reason we found this model is because of trial and error and just pattern recognition. The thing is, I don't think if a computer was just supposed to just track this pattern, I don't think it would have a clear enough outline. You know, like it would be able to find it would look so different every time that I think it would fool an AI that was meant to track it. You get me? That's how good the market makers are. So a combination to long story short, combination of human and AI. AI is going to lob you the trade. You're going to take it. If you're a great analyst, not the best trader, you're going to find the trade. The AI will take it. The risk parameters are already set. No way for you to really fuck up the account. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, human nature is unpredictable. Just to go back to that weather pattern thing. So it's really hard to predict what happens next. People be making money. Everyone's on the right side of the trade. And then boom, all of a sudden somebody just hand slips. 35 trades get entered. They're like, what the hell just happened? Prop firms found this out. Everyone was asking why prop firms didn't A-book people. It's like, I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys tried. You don't have to take a wild guess. And they quickly learned that you can find someone who's profitable for a year, and then as soon as you want to back them with live money, they end up blowing up the whole thing. Right? So we're humans. We're humans, guys and gals. By its very nature, we do dumb shit. All right, y'all. Happy safe trading. We'll be watching this for a while. CA members, obviously, I'll send this out to you guys in the private chat so we can keep the discussion going. Everybody else, make sure to register for the live webinar. We have a free webinar tomorrow. We're going to take a concept from the class and just go through it real quick with you guys. And then, of course, if you guys are interested in signing up for the live masterclass, 4-day, all intensive, the class that you need to get your trading on track, make sure to hit the description below. Take it easy, y'all. Happy safe trading. Peace. Yup. All right. Yeah, no retest.